Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast, where we discuss and analyze your favorite marble sports. From JMR Marble League to Algodu tournaments, we'll make sure you never miss the action. All marble sports, all the time, right here on the MSW Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wolf.
And I was just talking to Waff before the show about an idea where we go one full episode without saying the fateful word marble. And I don't know yet what I think about that idea. Waff, what do you think? Should we do that? Should we try that one of these times?
It would be funny to see how long it could last, I suppose, but I don't expect us to be able to do it, honestly.
Yeah, that would be tough to refer to all of our glass-sphered friends as spheroid toruses with the hole filled in, or I don't know. So I that's already hard to do. So we might do it at one time for fun, though, because that sounds just funny to me. Just so silly, it's so stupid that it might be fun to do one of these episodes. So, but this is not the episode for that. And the reason that this is not the episode for that silliness is that there's a lot going on. And there's just track design and safety marbles and everything just going on. It's just... This is a lot to cover today and a lot to break down, and I'm really going to be accessing the live chat today because I'm really going to want to hear other people's opinions in these very controversial subjects. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys here in the intro, send us emails. We want to hear from you. The best way for us to bring you guys the best coverage each week of Marble Sports is to hear what you guys think about Marble Sports. So email us, mswpodcast@gmail.com. You can also add us on Twitter. I check the Twitter here and there, so that would be like what? At MSW_podcast. I actually don't even know. What is our Twitter? I don't know.
Isn't it Guy Marble with two Y's?
No. Oh, it's _MSW podcast. _MSW podcast. You can at us there on Twitter. I'm totally fine with that. It might be easier for you guys to do that. But of course, if your email is written, if you write an email to, again, mswpodcast@gmail.com, we will read it as a more formal addressing of your comment. So we hope you guys send that in and talk to us at Rolling Marble. So anyway, that was a half a sentence. So anyways, anything going on that you want to share, Waff? I know sometimes we share some random stuff in the intro. I don't have anything going on. I want to say some stuff, but I mean, I've been going out to the park near my house, and usually I was just walking, and sometimes I'd go on like the swing, which is kind of weird, I guess, but I don't really have anything else to do. But and I started going out there recently because it was warmer. I started throwing trick shots for fun, just to pass time. So that's been kind of fun because it's when you hit something really hard, it feels great to hit that needle in the haystack kind of shot. So that's been fun. But besides that, it's just been busy work and staying inside because still work from home. College from home is not, I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. I don't know how many of you guys out there are in college, but man, college from home is just not it, man. It's not the peak experience. So we're going to get through it though. We're going to get to that next fall, and hopefully we'll all be able to be on campus, and just keep hanging in there, keep rolling along, keep, let's do a marble pun, keep, savage speeding along. I always say savage speeding along. Let's do another one. Let's keep snowballing along, but I use that a lot too. Keep
Brendan.
Keep cobalting along. No, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, keep momoing. Keep Waff, help me out here. Give me some teams. Keep Rojo rolling along. We haven't done Rojo rolling in a little bit, so keep Rojo rolling along, and I'm sure that you're gonna feel primary by the fall. That one came at the right time, and you don't want to feel like a Limers in the fall, because then you're just being the trash can. That's not even what I think, though. I love the Limers. You guys know I'm a Limers fan, but you cannot deny that the Limers have work to do to improve their skill enough to be some of the better teams out there. So with that being said, God, I gotta get out of my tangents. I gotta get out. So with that being said, let's move on to the news. On the other side, we're actually going to do mailbag first today. By the way, okay, before we get there, shout out to the Big Gets show. The Big Takes Gets. What is they called? Wait, I had them.
I thought it was Big Takes, Big Gets.
Big Takes, Big Gets, Big Gets, Big Takes. They call a podcast called Let It Roll. They're actually over 50 episodes. They're cool. They talk about marbles. They're like us, but other people that aren't us. So I mean, like they're going strong. They love marbles. They love talking. They have a different style than us. Definitely. Like when I listen to their show and it's good. Definitely worth checking out. But I feel like I like that it's different because I feel like we cover different stuff. Like we kind of focus on certain things about the week, and then they'll focus on different things from the week. And I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like you're going to get a different experience from each show. But each show, well, I can't speak for ours. I'm not going to say ours is great, but at least theirs is actually exciting and entertaining to listen to as well. So if you enjoy this show, you're definitely going to enjoy their show. And they call their email time mailbag, so I'm just going to call it mailbag now. I'm going to steal from them. So that's why I called it that for the first time. So finally, Waf, get us to the news. I'm going to let you do the news. Send us to the news today.
All right, I love how you ask well if you have anything to say, and then but then you just got on your tangent.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you have anything to say?
I was just gonna mention how Wolfcam was gonna be back for this episode. I figured out apparently I had to download iTunes desktop instead of using it from that Windows Store, the Windows Store for some reason. That allowed me to connect my iPad, and then my iPhone actually wasn't being detected by my computer, so I had to update my drivers. So cameras are working again, so that's nice.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's good to know. So, Waf, take us out to the news. Do what I do, usually.
All right. Let's go to Johnny Marble, who is sure to have plenty of news for us.
Hello, Marble sports fans! I'm your host, Johnny Marble, and as always, I'm coming to you for MSW. Let's jump into the news this week. GP10 of Marbula 1, Season 2, the Misty Mountain, was easily the most chaotic race this season. In just a few laps, Mimo, Cerulean, and Bumble were in a heated battle for first, with a large train of marbles right behind them. But tragedy would soon strike on lap number 7, as a bend in the metal rod near the starting gate caused Clutter to get stuck in the safety marble track, sending them all the way from 6th to dead last. However, the officials didn't quite notice that the track was the cause of the failure, so they didn't release the safety marble right away to set them free. Lady Luck, though, seemed to smile on Clutter as Bumble ended up stranded on the track in lap 9 for riding a little too close to Cerulean, resulting in the safety marble being released. However, in a cruel twist of fate, not only was the safety marble unable to get Bumble going again, but the just released Clutter ended up running into the safety marble and got stranded in the exact same place. 3 more attempts were made, but in the end, their stranded competitors couldn't get going again. So, a red flag was flown and the race restarted on lap 13. The restart really shook up the standings though, with Cerulean and Mimo, who had led for most of the race, falling back and making way for other marbles to battle for the podium. After 6 more intense laps, Hazy came in first, followed by Mallard in second, and rapidly, in a surprising return to form, came in third. As unbelievable as this race was, what's even more surprising is that because the Crazy Cat's Eyes, once again, didn't score any points. The Green Ducks are now the only team capable of beating them for the gold. However, it would require a miracle, as they need not only win the next 2 races, but they also need to either earn at least 2 additional points from either pole position or fastest lap, while the Crazy Cat's Eye get nothing at best, or get all full bonus points while Crazy Cat's Eye only get 2 points at worst. It seems extremely unlikely, but with how the Crazy Cat's Eyes have been performing these past 2 races, Mallards might just have a chance. Well guys, I'm Johnny Marble. You, my dear listeners, are the best fans in the world. Let's kick it on back and continue now with the podcast.
The news is over, but Johnny Marble's excitement pervades forever. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for bringing the news in as exciting a fashion. as you bring it every single time. We are back from the news, and I gotta say, before we get in the mailbag, I want to start with something that was mentioned in our live chat and just is super important to note in this race. Above all things, we have so many things to touch on. Safety marbles, okay? Cerulean, which, wow, he doesn't usually race well, but there you go. Yellow Eye and that atrocity. The Green Duck still having a chance to win. The track design, red flags. There's so many things to say, but just have to note this. Rapidly from the Savage Speeders had a race that actually made him look like he was on the Savage Speeders. So definitely something worth pointing out. Congratulations, Rapidly, I guess. I've been kind of negative about him because he has been pretty bad. Truthfully, he's not been good at all. Not been making any good progress even. But this was kind of a break in the ice. He came out strong in the qualifiers. Then he struggled a little bit in the race, but after that restart, another thing to talk about, the restart as well. After the restart, he came back really strong as well, and he finished second, right? I'm not crazy about that, right? He was second. So, I mean, it was great to see Rapidly be that good. He might have been third, I believe it was second. No, it was third. It was third. Green Ducks beat him out, right? It was third or second, though. Waff, I'm going to defer to Waff on this one. He got a lot of points.
I believe Rapidly got third.
Yeah, third.
I'd have to confirm.
It's third. Thanks, live chat. Yeah. See, when the live chat knows more than the host, right? But either way, because I remember it was definitely third because I remember then the Green Ducks was like, wow, they finished second. They have a chance to win if the Crazy Cat's Eyes cannot be good ever again. But with that being said, guys, we're going to dive mailbag first. Remember, you can email us, mswpodcast@gmail.com. We try to work the mailbags in towards the beginning of the episode here and there just to make sure the people email in get to be heard quickly. And so let's dive in, see what you guys say, and then we'll get to the rest of it. All right.
Can you zoom in on my face? Like I'm just kind of
I forgot to do that. Sorry, Waff.
I know, it's been a while.
We need Waff's face more than anything else, guys.
Yes.
Without Waff's face, the podcast is nothing. Okay, here we go, guys. Emails. Okay. So, we have Nelly. That is the subject of the email, written in by Alex, who is a frequent writer. And he's got a long one for us, so here we go. We're in San Diego having a fun time, and I will talk about that as well as some other things. My best friend is named Kai and lives near San Diego. I'm not too worried about privacy as Kai is a very common name. Fair enough. He is 15 and very buff. We sprinted 5 miles every morning and made us run up and down a stairway called the Stairway to Hell. Damn.
I think I've heard of that actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I haven't heard of it, but that's kind of cool. It's 2,660 steps a day, not including the run. And we tried to pick up some honeys by giving some random teenage girls 15 to 19 flowers. Wait, what?
What?
The age range was 15 to 19. Funny. The flowers here are pretty. I can't spell beautiful, and that's why you said pretty instead of beautiful, ha. And it was fun. Did you pick up any ladies? I hope so, dude. Just tell them you're Savage Speeders fan, and then they'll bandwagon with you. All right. I don't even. There's not even like a marble joke that relates to picking up girls, so I actually don't have anything for that. Mention Clutter and Bumble. Live chat. A lot of asking to mention Clutter and Bumble. We are technically going to talk about Clutter and Bumble, but we do emails first today. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Wow, more to go here. He told me Marble Sports are stupid. Damn, I was liking Kai. He was picking up the ladies. He was buff. He was running stairs. But, come on, Kai. Come on, man. Marble Sports is stupid. Bro, 1.3 million subs. I mean, come on, beat that, bro. All right. He told me Marble Sports are stupid and called me a dipshit for liking them. Damn, that's a curse word I haven't heard in a while, actually. Best friend. I think I've even built up a work ethic since I've been there. Yeah, like working out. Yeah, I see. Now I'm with my family. They make fun of me when we talk and get mad at me when I don't want to talk. That is family, though. You try to not talk, they get angry. You try to talk, they just like. I get you, man. I truly think he's cool though. He's just overworked, and I am animated a bit too. I am animating a part of an object show and trying to get in a show called BFLH, run by a bunch of 14-year-olds on YouTube. That's cool.
BFLH, I think I've heard of that. It's like that. I think it's like run by Carrick. the marble racer, maybe, like, or the former marble racer. I don't know if Carrick's done a lot of stuff recently, but I can't remember what the acronym stands for. But I think I do know what he's referring to. It's fairly popular.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard of it, but it's still cool. An object show is a show with a bunch of different objects. Wow, fair enough. Flowers, tables, waffles, tacos, and other inanimate objects, and they have a challenge, like escape a volcano, and then they have the losers choose one to be voted off. But the viewers vote someone off. I think Brendan would like it. Ah, that's me. I have been trying to animate more because I want a good hobby, and I'm putting less and less importance on school. Well, don't do that. Stay in school, buddy. But definitely focus on your hobby. I mean, I'm the king of that, podcasting and all that stuff. I spend a lot of time with the hobbies. You try your hardest to get a B, but don't try and get a C. I don't get a C. It's pretty useless. Also, the girl in my math class is pretending like nothing happened, is still talking to me and such. Haven't brought it up since. Well, you gotta bring it up, man. You gotta know. You gotta break the ice, man. You gotta get in there and say that. Don't get complacent. Don't get complacent with the situation that's now. You like this girl. You want to know if she's into you. You want to know why she cold-shouldered you after you said that you gave her the Valentine's gift. You got to go right at it, You got to go right at it, like rapidly in the last couple laps of the previous race. He just went right for the middle there and dodged right into third place. So you got to go like that, man. You got to dive forward right through the mist, all right? And find out about it. Okay, also, Brendan, my tutor saw me watching a podcast of the MSW channel and pointed you and said, "Oh, he's cute. How old is he?" Thank you. She's 17, and I explained that we live across the country, but the offer is not yet off, Brendito. Oh, shit! How should I respond to this? I'm 18, by the way, so actually pretty close there. Pretty close there. I don't know. Should I follow up on that, guys? Should I have anything to say about that? It's kind of
long distance.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm honored to be called cute by somebody who saw my show, so I appreciate that. I mean, Waff's really cuter, guys. I mean, come on, we know that. I mean, look at Waff right now. If you're watching on the YouTube, you look at Waff in his glasses, bro, and he's wearing his glasses. He's behind the blanket. Dude, he's a cute motherfucker, man. Come on. Dude, are you sure he wasn't pointing at Waff? He's probably pointing at Waff, bro. You're gonna have to ask your tutor. Oh, I said he. She's probably pointing at Waff. Anyway, enough of that, guys. He also sent an email with an animation thing. I'll watch that after the show. Because more emails. Here we go.
I went ahead, it's great. I went ahead and posted it in the links from Episodes channel. So if you want to check that out, I'm definitely joining the Discord and you can watch it.
All right. I will definitely check that out. So, thank you for the email. Moving on to our next one. Some more mailbag. Okay, here we go. We got a new emailer. Marbula 1 Season 3 team picks. This is definitely an odd subject to cover early on, but you know what, Matthew? I'm happy that you're getting an early start on next season. Good for you thinking ahead on this. Matthew, I'm not going to say his last name. Maybe he doesn't like that. So I'm just going to hold off on that. But he emails in. He says, "Hello. First off, I really enjoy your guys' podcast. Thank you. I really I enjoy that you enjoy it. Second of all, who would you two want the 20 teams that compete in Marbula 1 Season 3 to be? Because here are mine. He wants Hornets, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Green Ducks, Rojo Rollers, Cobalts, Team Galactic, Rangers, Team Momo, Shining Swarm, Jawbreakers, Bumblebees, Cobalts, Turtle Sliders, Mini Maniacs, Thunderbolts, Savage Speeders, Jungle Jumpers, Binkies, Indigo Stars, and Limers to compete in Season 3. I will say that I agree with most of these. I don't really care about the Turtle Sliders, so they don't, whatever. I don't really think they deserve to be in Marbula 1 at this point. They haven't even been able to play in a Marble League. I feel like you have to at least compete in one Marble League in order to be able to be in Marbula 1. That's my opinion. I don't know what I think about Shining Swarm, but it'd be good to see them out there race. We've never seen them do that. Rojo Rollers would be definitely someone I want to see. Indigo Stars I could care less about, so honestly, I'm not a huge fan of them, but the other ones, yeah, I'm pretty good with your list. Just replace Indigo Stars and Turtle Sliders like Mellow Yellow and I don't know, Mellow Yellow and Jawbreakers or something like that. Oh no, Jawbreakers already there. Mellow Yellow and somebody else replace Turtle Sliders and Stars, and I'd be in agreement with you. What do you think, Waff?
Yeah, I think it's a good list. Like personally, the only ones I care about making like Momo and Raspberry Racers right now. Like like anyone who like I'm honestly okay with any other teams making it. I'd like to see some of the more the teams that don't show up as much. I think like seeing some of them like racing more. I think that'd be very fun to see.
Yeah.
After all this time.
Yeah, would be good to see some new teams, but I think I don't even think he put Hazers in here, and I think Hazers definitely should be in there because Hazers are a pretty good racing team. I didn't see Snowballs either, so I don't know. I don't know about this list. I think a couple new teams is good, but they should only really remove teams that were on the lower end of the finishing. So I mean, definitely Hazers should be there again next year. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, Richard Hinckley writes in, ice or mint? Okay, Richard says, should Ice Mint join the Ice team or the Minty Madness? Can't wait until Marbula 1 Season 2 finishes to send in the new rankings. Yes, I'm really excited for that. Should Ice Mint join the Ice team or Minty Madness? I don't even know what the context of this is, honestly.
I believe it's Ice Mint is a marble from, and he's got two teams. I'm saying the Ice team and the Minty Madness.
Well, you should call it, I think Ice Mint should be in Minty Madness because
same.
Like the taste of mint is usually an icy type of flavor, so I feel like if you're mentioning mint, it should go in the minty area. If you're gonna talk about ice, you should keep it just ice and maybe that kind of stuff. So I would say Minty Madness.
Agreed.
All right, and Waff agrees too. As I said that, so cool. Okay, all right. Last email of the day today. Martin's Bite writes in, and this is Steve from Lafayette, guys. I don't know. I guess he changed his email name, but this is Steve, one of our longtime listeners. Thoughts on the Misty Mountain GP and future races? Hi, Steve here once again. What's up, Steve? Okay, so I think I wow. Can I do reading?
Wait.
What?
Wait, huh? What was that, Brendan?
I don't know. I tried to read and I got caught up in my words. Or was it the hi there, Steve, that you didn't like?
I heard what's up, slave? I'm very confused.
No, what? That's not what I said at all.
What?
No,
what is my
bro? I would
so
never
confused.
say that, bro.
I was trying to read the email. Where is this at?
But
Where's
now
this
you're
at?
putting that in people's heads. So now they're gonna go back and listen to it and then hear me say "What's up, slave, bro?" And that's gonna be awful. Why would?
I'm sorry. I don't know why I heard that for some reason.
I said, "What's up, Steve?" I said it in a weird voice, so I'm sure it maybe came out weird into the. Sorry if that's how it sounded. Steve is a slave to marbles. He's a slave to marble sports, but he's a cool guy. Anyway, to read his email, finally, okay. He said, "Hi, Steve here once again. What's up, Steve?" Let me pronounce that. Okay, so I think the track looks simple, but it was very tricky once you got on it. One wrong entrance into a turn and your whole race is ruined. I agree with that. I want to say there was some time trials where I saw them bang off a 90-degree and just lose all momentum, so we'll definitely talk about that. I think a few certain marbles will know how this feels. I believe Cerulean should have gotten a penalty. I saw them move dirty, and I think it was Cerulean's fault that Bumble's race was ruined. I don't know about that, but we'll talk. Also, I don't know what has to happen for Crazy Cat's Eyes to lose the lead. If that happens, it will be the biggest choke in marble sports history. Dude, that will be the biggest choke in sports history. Are you kidding me? That's a bigger choke than even the Falcons Patriots thing from a couple of years ago, which is considered one of the biggest chokes in sports history. Dude, literally, the teams only the Green Ducks can win it, besides the Cat's Eyes. And the Green Ducks literally have to get first place and extra points the next two races, and the Crazy Cat's Eyes have to continue to score 0 the next two races. That would be such a choke to actually lose out on that. That would be actually probably, I consider marble sport as a sport as anything else. So that would be, for me, the biggest choke in sports history. Absolutely. All right, and then he follows up on that email, so we'll just pretend like this is the same email. Rapidly is definitely back. Rapidly pretty much destroyed. Rapidly is a cube memes with this race. I agree. Hopefully more races will go his way. More fun for me as an Rangers fan. Also, I think Safety Marble didn't do its job good enough. Its job is to free the marble who got stuck, but it failed to do so. JMRC needs to have a discussion with him. Okay, yeah.
We'll definitely discuss all this, but I have a lot of thoughts both on like Cerulean, Bumble, the Safety Marble, all that stuff, and we'll definitely get into that, I guess, right now.
Yeah, that's definitely. So I don't know if you guys like starting with the emails. I thought that starting with the emails, every few episodes is a fun thing. If you guys hated starting with the emails, the only way I'll know that you didn't like it and want it to be different is if you put down in the comments of the YouTube or whatever, or send in an email saying never start with the emails again. If you only like it when I start with emails, then you should also comment in that vice versa manner that you only want emails to start and then the bulk. So please, give the feedback so that we can know what you guys want. If not, then we'll just keep switching it up here and there. With that being said, those are our emails for the week. Again, thank you for writing in, mswpodcast@gmail.com if you want to write in and tell us all your Marble Sports thoughts, and we will read them, we will respond to them, and we will roll with them. I actually like that. That was kind of smooth right there. It's kind of smooth right there. With that being said, enough of that. Let's head on to the next focus of this episode. And before we get into the more controversial things, we want to do the base react to the race. So let's do fantasy. Let's do rating of the track. So, Waf, you want to start with fantasy real quick?
Yeah, fantasy did terribly, and we're going to definitely get into why all that happened. But it was like my second worst points haul. I got 35. This made my worst is 30. Yeah, and it was going to be higher. And as I'm sure you all are aware, based on just how the race was going for Momo, but then all that stuff happened, and just when it all went down the drain, because racers weren't in the race. If I'm not mistaken, did the main team Maniacs make it this race, or did they?
I don't think they did. I remember Minty Drizzle having a slow time, so.
Yes, I think two of my teams on my list didn't make it in. Cat sides were doing terribly, and then speeders they did good, but they're not a multiplier. The only one the only multiplier I could have actually had do a really good haul was Team Momo, and that didn't happen because the restart situation.
Of course, that cannot be feeling good for certain fans who were affected. Imagine Chaos fans and all those fans and there are other fans of racers who were in the top when the restart happened. It's not going to be an overall happy reception, I'd say. But we'll talk about that. Do you want to just go ahead and rate the track too, along with your fantasy?
Yeah. So it's a very interesting situation. I guess first of all to mention that skit that Dion leaked. I guess it was he made that skit just for that release. But there was basically the skit the hazers are kind of around the mountaintop. And you hear humming and chanting, kind of like a ritual sort of thing. It was just kind of I was kind of expecting that to happen, but it didn't happen. So I guess that was just. But I guess the spoiler was you had to see the mountaintop early, but whatever. Anyways, but the mountain, I loved the aesthetic of it. It was really great. The fog, they aired the fog out or they didn't even put the fog in until after they recorded the race, which makes sense because if it was too foggy, they wouldn't be able to see what's happening. It probably would mess up the sensors. So it makes sense that they had to get rid of the fog for the racing. But in terms of the setup of it, the fog, then the mountaintop, it made it look really good. Aesthetically, it was probably one of the best races they've had. But the track design, I gotta say, it was not those those incredibly sharp turns. These marbles just don't take them well. Sometimes they could, but it's so easy to just lose all of your momentum, and I feel like it was counterproductive. And just as we saw in the event, it resulted in a massive stalling, a situation that just couldn't be undone or fixed. Nothing seemed to work, and so it's I think that there was a big issue with the design there. And actually, EGU did send a Reddit post. Apparently, JMR, I'm assuming Yella, responded to a comment with someone complaining about the track. And Yella probably mentioned they were hurrying and they were in a hurry to get it all recorded and stuff. So it's possible that they just didn't have maybe he didn't have time to I guess test as much. And he says I'm going to try and make sure that the next one is a lot better. So I think that they while they can't catch every issue, especially since this issue happened because multiple marbles were racing at once, I imagine it, at least according to the comment here, it seems that there was just the difficulties caused it to be not as checked or quality approved, I guess, as other tracks, and so that kind of resulted in that incident, I guess, being able to happen.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
I guess giving a number, right?
You didn't give the number. Yeah, do that. I was just confused. Wait, did we get the number yet?
I guess. Well, we're supposed to rate the track, not necessarily the race. The racing itself, it was good. I think the racing was good. I think that the track itself, without those super sharp turns, if they weren't at least that second one, if it was removed or made a little less sharp, I would say. It would have been a lot better, but I think maybe it's a 7 for me.
Ooh, that's high. I think that's high. But I mean, I don't know. You're usually pretty nice about it, so.
I really do love that aesthetic. The aesthetic was really good. It's just that that unfortunate track design really took some points off for it.
Yeah, I think it ended up messing with it. All right, so I guess I'll go ahead with first of all, the fantasy for me was okay. I did pull some decent points, so like medium, because Rapidly had a good race and he's in my multiplier, but it ended up not being that helpful in the end. I'm down to 50th now overall, so I'm hoping for some
oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm 90th.
For some pick. Oh wow, so you really dropped down. You were doing well, but then Momo's like, not doing any more of that good Momo racing. So 83.
I wouldn't say it's Momo's fault in this instance, but we'll get into that.
We'll talk. But again, 83 points, so not bad. I think me and Waf still both have a chance in the next two races to move up if we have good next two races, but we both might not get that top 10 that we need. So, but as far as the track, it's bad. It is bad for me. Let's start with the aesthetic. I like the mist. That was really cool. But my problem again with JMR, and again, this is nitpicky. Of course it is. I know I'm being nitpicky right now when I'm saying this, so don't be like, oh wow, you're being way too nitpicky. But I feel like they have these outward aesthetics, but then when it gets down into the racing, we don't maintain any of them. So yes, of course, having a fog over the whole course would be hard to see. But what about if they just had a little bit of fog blowing in one corner of the course? They can obviously create the fog, so they could have had a little like jet of fog blowing in like one of the couple of turns, or maybe just a mist so that the track got a little wet, so it'd be like a little bit wet feel, kind of like Fubica did with the rain thing on the final lap of that one race. One of the few things Fubica did that I actually really enjoyed. I mean, those are all things that could have been like just an extra touch, just so you feel like the mist is actually, Misty Mountain actually means something for this track. Misty Mountain is actually having an effect on this track, and it's not just an aesthetic feel, but it actually is changing how the marbles are racing. So again, we didn't see that, but again, I do love the mist effect. Obviously, the art outside of the track is amazing. The mountain in the middle here, I mean, just all of that is really good. So as far as the track itself is bad. Way too many sharp turns. We got a frontward shot here of the track. I mean, that's 4 turns I see on the screen that are over 90 degrees, and that's just not good track design. I mean, I don't even like. I don't know. I don't have like. There's no like. I can't even justify it. Like, this is bad track design to have more than because look, we have consecutive turns. If you're not looking at the YouTube, just think about the track where it goes. I guess on that sled part, that top part of the sled, I guess with the shape, right before the front bit, it kind of very sharp angles inward and then outward, and then mirrored on the other side, if you know which part I'm talking about, kind of opposite the conveyor belt. That's 4 turns that are like 130, no, not 135 degrees. The other one, the supplementary complementary to that, like 60 degrees turns. No, yeah, like 135. Yeah.
135. Let me see here.
That's right? Because like 90, so more. So yeah, like giant, very sharp turns is what I'm saying.
Yeah, about 135.
Yeah, so that's just, you can't have those consecutive turns like that. You're killing momentum, then marbles gain momentum, then you kill it again. The marbles gain momentum, you kill it again. The marbles gain momentum, and you kill it a 4th time, and then you have other 90-degree turns. You don't have any super long straights. You have kind of long straights, but not super long. And it's just, you're killing the momentum of the race. And that ended up actually causing the stoppages because of some of those curves. But even without that, the track is just not, I mean, I feel like it could have been a good track with some turns, but I feel like you shouldn't have too many consecutive acute turns like that. So not my favorite one. This is a 5 out of 10. Probably a 4 out of 10, honestly. 4 out of 10. It's just not I did not enjoy this track. I didn't enjoy this track. A lot of people didn't enjoy this track, let's be honest, but for other reasons. But yeah, this is one where I question whether this happens just because JMR feels like they need to change it up every time. And then it begs me to wonder, well, instead of changing it up like this, why do you not then just make a track that is less changed up, but then embellish the actual theming of the event a little more? Because literally, if you have a track that is a little more generic looking, because I will say the sled shape is a little unique, but if you had a little more generic looking, but you had a mist section of the track where, like, for this couple of turns, you're going to have this mist blowing across, causing wetness and causing all of that crazy elements, then you have a really unique idea, which is going to create some better racing and some more effective, really authentic Misty Mountain racing. So again, those are my thoughts on that. So
looking at like the track without the mist, like just right now, like it really does look so much blander. I think it might reduce my rating to a 6 out of 10.
The whole Waff always changes his rating. He says his rating, and then he thinks about it, and he's like,
Because like I understand like, cause like that thick fog could really like mess up a sensor, and it could mess up timing. So like, I understand like not having it going, but like it really does hurt it. Like they would need like some like smaller mountain ranges, like peaks and stuff, or maybe like a mountainy like forest kind of thing.
Yeah,
a light forest or something like that. But like again, like, this sounds like this they had like a lot of recording issues, and it was like they had some difficulties. So it seems like this track just in particular had a lot of issues regarding it. So I think there's at least an explanation, I think.
Agreed. So Clutter, let's talk about Clutter. What happened here? I mean, we don't get a huge vantage point here. I have it up on the YouTube for people who, of course, listen there. We don't get a great vantage point of what happened here. I missed it. I missed it the first time I watched through until, of course, the announcement was made about it, because it's in such odd part of the camera. It happens at the beginning of lap 7 here. I'm going to try to slow it down here so we can get a better view for people who are watching here. You're going to see it here in a second. And I'm trying to really get a view of how this even happened. But Clutter comes up the belt here. And he somehow he comes out. Okay, wait, let's go back. We're going to see this again. So it looks like he comes out of the elevator, bounces up a little bit, hits that metal bar that I guess he's supposed to go under, and then ends up in that weird, I guess, like that weird pit lane looking area that's kind of like slotted right next to the track. It's kind of a weird way to get knocked out of the race, in my opinion, don't you think? I mean, like, look at this. He comes out. No, he just knocks right into the metal bar. He didn't even jump. And he just ends up in that slot there. See to the right here, if you see my mouse cursor. Why is that slot even there? What?
It's for the metal marble to go in, to the safety marble to come back into the lane.
Oh, but why is that opened?
So basically what happens is the safety marble hits the metal wire because it's bigger, and then it guides it into the hole. So like the other marbles aren't supposed to be able to go in there.
Oh, so it was just a mistake on the part, because it looks like the wire, if you look at the wire here, you can analyze it. It's a little bit bent downward in that one section where Clutter hit it, and that actually is probably what caused the
I see.
fateful accident, because, we'll go back one last time. Comes up the elevator, right, to come out, and it looks like, to me... Oh, crap, I'm trying to get it so we don't have to wait forever. Okay, here we go. We're going to get it right here. It's going to jump over to that part. It looks like he comes out and hits right at the part where the wire's bent and can't escape through. So this might change my opinion. Well, no, but Clutter wasn't even a part of the restart, right?
So what happens here is like eventually Clutter ends up being one of the two marbles that are stuck on the track later. The thing is, like, what I really didn't like about this situation is like Greg kind of mentioned, the committee or whatever decided like the committee in universe or whatever decided it's Clutter's fault for getting in there. They gotta find a way to get out, but it's like there is literally nothing Clutter can do to get out. The safety marble should have been deployed the first chance it had, so Clutter could actually get back into the race. Not only that, but especially because, like, as we just now found out, like, it's most likely because of that bent wire, so it was due to a track failure of all things too. So it's like Clutter was punished way too hard for that mistake. There's just nothing Clutter could do. It was just ridiculous.
Well, but my question would be, I mean, what do you do in that situation? Because it's a track failure, but I mean, like, you can't recreate the momentum and positions of the marbles right at the time Clutter encountered it. So what do you do?
I know, but what I'm saying is just let the safety marble go out, so at least Clutter is not being lapped. That they at least have a chance of getting back into the race.
You mean they should have let that safety marble area out immediately?
The moment that a 15th place passed by, or at least when there was a safe gap in the track, they could then release the marble, and then Clutter could get back in the race, and then without the safety marble interfering.
Well, I would go as far as to say that because that was a failure of the track, of the mechanics itself, someone should have been watching that and immediately released the valve as soon as Clutter entered that, because that's. Well, I mean,
it is important to remember, like. We don't see anybody shadow. They try to stay away from the track when filming, so I'm assuming no one was close enough at the time of filming to notice that there was a track.
Well, that's a valid point, but I mean, I guess it depends on how you want to talk. You want to talk about practically or theoretically. Theoretically, it should be immediate. All right, that's theoretically definitely for a track failure. There should be immediate assessment and just immediate decision. I mean, not even decision, just immediate action. That's what I mean. Immediate action. All right, that's what theoretically should happen. Of course, if it's hard for them to get to the track, so it should have been as fast as possible, and we didn't see that there, and that's a problem. It's a problem because it wasn't Clutter's fault, especially after looking at that. You saw he slow it down to 0.25 times speed. You saw Clutter clearly hit off the wire that he was not supposed to be able to touch. At first, I thought he jumped off the track and hit it, but no, I think he just accidentally hit right at the one little point that it was bent a little lower. Yeah. And that should have been immediate action, immediate trying to alleviate possible consequences, because it's already, I mean, just the fact that even went in there is reducing his ability to be where he could have been in the race. And that could change the outcome of the race. We could be looking at a situation where, I mean, of course, you could play butterfly effect here and say, well, Yellow Eye could have even won the race, if Clutter didn't move. That, some butterfly effect craziness. But you could at least have been looking at a situation where the Green Ducks finished a place or two lower and then wouldn't even be in the running to beat the Crazy Cat's Eyes anymore. It could have been a completely different game. And now the Green Ducks are still alive for a comeback to first place because immediate action did not ensue at that track failure. So that is a big deal to me. And people might think that the big deal here is to talk more about, Bumble and Cerulean and the situation there. And I personally do not think that's as big of a deal. Because that is between two marbles out in the field. That's two marbles racing as they're supposed to race. That's two marbles, competing as they're supposed to be competing. That does not compare to the true effect that a track failure can have on not only the singular outcome of a race for a specific marble, but in the overall outcome of the race across all 16 teams. So if you want to ask me what should we focus on here in this race, it's definitely, especially after looking at that slowed down replay that we just looked at. It's definitely the fact that Clutter, immediate action was not taken after Clutter's failure. The fact that it even happened at all should never happen. I mean, of course, mistakes are made. Mistakes can come up. But that was a big problem in the race. I'm going to take my hoodie off while Woff continues for a second.
Yeah, and so apparently people are mad at Cerulean for what happened to Bumble, but that is what happened. So what happened on lap 9 was Bumble got stuck on the track, but that was totally Bumble's fault. If you were watching the race, Bumble was literally I think they were just in constant contact with Cerulean. They were they were all up in their grill the entire time going into that turn. It is their entire fault for getting launched back on that spot. Cerulean could do nothing in that situation. There was nothing Cerulean could do. That was all Bumble.
Yeah, and I got it up here on the YouTube. I just want to make sure we see it as clearly as possible. We'll look at the lead-in into lap 9 here. We're on lap 8 here, and obviously Cerulean and Bumble are at the top battling at this point. And Cerulean right now is behind Bumble, so I mean that might mean something. We really have to see how it plays out here. But coming into lap 9, Bumble's leading by a little bit, but they kind of even out at that conveyor belt. Let's see how it looks into lap 9. It looks like Cerulean made that pass early on. Yeah, just made that pass early on in the lap. Bumble is trailing Cerulean really fast. Cerulean... Oh, come on.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. That is not... I have to say, that is just racing right there. And you know what? Here's a point to make. And really go look at it. If you're not watching the YouTube, and actually I'm gonna go back to YouTube one more time and replay it in slow motion so you really see what's happening here. If you're not looking at YouTube, go check this moment out. It's about halfway through lap 9. Look at this. Look at why this happens. Cerulean and Bumble locked together racing. They go into the really sharp turn. Cerulean bounces off the turn, and just because Bumble's behind him, Bumble's just by momentum, by physics, he's bumped backwards. So for people who blame Cerulean on this, I don't feel like that's a good place to put blame. I put blame on the track design. I put blame in the fact that we have all of these extremely acute angles on the track. That's why this happened.
And if you watch closely, like they get stuck on the lip of the little like, cover there on top of the corsetti track. So so what I think happens like that part of it was flat and didn't really slanted. So like it just kind of like sat there instead of like going down like a hill like it normally would. So like that's kind of another like I guess disadvantage of that style of using these tracks is like in order to make them smooth enough, they have to use these like pieces like cardboard or whatever, or wood and like that or whatever it is, and like and they lip up a little bit there like. I guess like they could try like maybe taping it or gluing it, but like a glue would be like would be like basically ruining the pieces once they take them off. And like I'm not sure like I imagine that they thought about that like because like I imagine it doesn't like that they like we don't like seeing those gaps in the track, but like they probably couldn't find a solution. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
they
like,
might need to also request some custom tracks in the future. I mean, like I said, this is year 5. This is year 5 of JMR.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to year 6, 2021. So we're heading towards the point where because JMR is so big now, because JMR has been around for so long, we expect, we shouldn't expect anything. This is awesome that we even have Marble Sports. But we should...
Keep playing?
We should...
Because I want to see how, sorry, I just want to see how, who was it, Clutter gets stuck. I want to make sure that, was it the same thing that happened again? You'll just view the footage because it's like the next lap.
Okay. So we should hope that JMR does do something like requests from and pay to get tracks that don't have these lips in them and like just smooth to begin with. So the safety marble goes. We're gonna see here. Safety marble. I'm just gonna leave it on slow so you can see it at the best pace. But safety marble comes out, tries to dislodge Bumble. Okay, so again. The same thing happened here. Look at that replay. Oh my God, this is like, come on, guys. I mean, how could you blame anything else but how could you blame the safety marble here? If you rewatch this, you got to safety marble comes down, tries to dislodge Bumble. Bumble is in that like perfect like blind spot, so he misses, and then Clutter just happens to become. And Clutter just had a really unlucky race. Come on, I mean that was twice. Yeah. But and Clutter was actually doing all right at this point, but yeah, he comes and Clutter just comes right behind, hits off the safety marble, who because he's a larger marble, struggled to get around these crazily sharp turns, and Clutter hits off of them, and the momentum brings him right to Bumble, and they both have no momentum now, so they're both just stuck there. I mean,
and then it's crazy, and like what ends up happening is like they try like they run the safety marble again through like 3 more times to try and dislodge them. Like it just keeps failing. It's like the safety marble is too heavy. Like it's not gonna bounce off that wall and hit them. It's gonna carry itself through that turn. There was no way the safety marble could have ever done anything. Like they were completely incapable of handling that situation, and there was nothing. It was not their fault. There was nothing the safety marble could do there. It's just the how the track was designed. Like. Yeah, I just kind of feel bad for him because like, the safety marble has been actually pretty good this season, but like this is like this one instance where there was nothing that could be done.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's what needs to happen. This is what should happen, because at this point, because this is such a high level marble sports competition, the safety marbles need to be of a high skill level as well. Okay, and what I mean by that is that they have to be able to plan ahead. To dislodge marbles if they're in tough situations like this. Because most of the time they're in a situation where the safety marble can easily make the contact. But this was a very clear situation where that's a blind spot. That's a tough place for safety marble to do a good job. So what should have happened there, in my opinion, is the safety team should have been able to put some sort of divider down that, right after all the other marbles pass through, they put one down, send the safety marble at the same time, and get them to angle right into Bumble, and then be able to remove that to not affect many other marbles, to have a limited effect on the race, but still effectively remove Bumble. Because it is more important that the safety marble quickly and effectively fix the situation of marbles being stuck than the importance of not affecting the race at all. So what I'm saying, it's better if the safety marble dislodged Bumble but deflected a couple of other marbles with a barrier or whatever, like once or twice, than if the safety marble never made that effective dislodge and but then didn't put any things into place to cause that to happen.
Okay, but like out of roleplay real quick, how would they do that?
Well, I mean, of course, the people who are playing, like who are filming, we'll just at the time get some little cardboard piece and just put a divider down or something like that, and that would just be like pretend the safety team did it or whatever.
Well, the problem is like the people would see them, and they try to avoid having human bodies like in shadows and stuff like that, not being in the footage as much as possible.
That's true. It would be hard, but I feel like with the right amount of planning or the right amount of just like, I could even see like just there being a divider on a long piece of string or something. You can just hang that down, and so it doesn't look like a human's there. But just something to you need to plan ahead for that stuff. And I don't know the answers to that. This is just conjecture for me. Maybe that's impossible. Maybe I'm being ridiculous. Or maybe even you got to send out a bunch of safety marbles so that with all the commotion of the safety marbles, they're probably going to bounce off and hit Bumble. I don't know. I mean, there needs to be. I don't know. The safety marble is doing the best he can, but there just needs to be better planning beforehand because it's so important. It's so important that the primary goal is that the effective dislodge of the marble is completed. That has to happen. So I don't know. It's hard to really respond correctly to that. I don't really know what the best course of action would be, but. I mean, it's a tough one. That's why I really want to know from you guys. What do you think's happened? Do you think they should be planning it better? Do you think they, what do you think? What do you think on that? Someone in the chat is telling me to check out Razzie's incident. I remember.
Are they referring to like the qualifiers? Like I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like Razzie did finish, so it's like I don't know. Yeah. I'm assuming that Razzie lost a lot of momentum. He was we actually do need to talk about the qualifiers, but we'll finish up the race discussion since we're already in it. The safety, the safety marble thing, they ran it
Razzie
3 more
from
times.
A different race apparently.
The safety marble saved Razzie from what I remember. So I was I don't know. So I mean, as I said before, the safety marble has been very effective this season. It's just that this one race it wasn't.
And there's sometimes things cannot be helped. Sometimes it's just too hard. But I mean,
right.
Did they do the best they can?
And that's why I don't blame. I'm assuming Yellow is one who made the final call when to do what flags. But they let the safety marble run 3 more times through to try and dislodge them. And personally, I would have stopped after 2. But it was a unique situation, and it's hard to say what I would have done in the moment. But because the safety marble was running through several times, it went into its pit lane and then came back out again. It slowed down enough to where it's it was messing with Cerulean and Mimo. Sorry, and I don't think it messed him up too much, but it definitely seemed like that they was kind of interfering with the race. And then when they called the red flag to stop, which was a good decision, what I wish they had done was if they had actually restarted at lap 10 or 11 when the incident actually started, because I feel that'd be more fair to Clutter and to Bumble. Clutter had already been lapped several times, so they were stuck in the safety marble lane, so there's no chance of them winning it. But Bumble, if they Bumble did have a chance if they just started it back when Bumble got stuck.
Right.
Because that's what they're trying to undo the entire time. And if they failed to undo it and they were stopping the race because of that mistake, why not start back there? Because that gives them a few more laps, like 2 or 3. They may not seem like much, but it's important to remember. When that race restarted, Mimo first of all.
So you're saying the restart should have started a few laps prior instead of where it did.
I'm talking a bit fast. I need to slow down a bit. Because I think they should have restarted to when the yellow flag started, when both Clutter and Bumble got stuck.
Fair.
Because that's the incident that caused it.
That absolutely, yeah, that's a really good point. And actually, we're both gonna offer our opinions on the restart of the race in a moment, but I think we're gonna postpone that for a couple minutes while we do the trivia segment. So let's head to that, everybody. And when we come back from the trivia segment, it's gonna be all about the race restart. So, I mean, of course, if you're listening live, you're not gonna hear any music, but let's play that music for those people who listen to the recorded.
Now it's time for the trivia segment. Come on now, let's go, go, go. Go, go, go.
All right, we are at the trivia segment. Finally, I'll start, Waff, and then you have one too. You'll go ahead afterward, right?
All right. Yep.
All right. So I have one, and this is from the Racing Marble League. So I hope you guys watch the Racing Marble League. And actually, episode 3 will be coming out in the next day or two, so I'm really excited for that. And again, me and the creator of that have been talking about camera work, so I think this camera work is going to be a little different, hopefully much better on the eyes, so hopefully it turns out well. But apparently, during the second event of the tryouts, Arjun fell off the track. But another marble fell off the track in the inaugural season of Racing Marble League. Apparently only one time one of the marble fell off the track in the Racing Marble League. In Season 1, actually. And who was that marble?
There was actually 2 that fell off the track in Season 1. It was Crimson Lady and... Who was the other one?
Might have been Arjun again. That's why it wasn't mentioned.
It might have been... I think it might have been Arjun again. But
Arjun, there was a second time, I think. That was like...
There was a second time.
So you're saying Crimson... I actually don't even remember. Crimson Lady, really? She won so many races though.
I think it was in one of the test time. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was Crimson Lady. Or Duchess. It might have been Duchess. I know it was a red marble. I think it was. I'll go with Duchess over Crimson Lady in this one.
All right. Well, if you go with Duchess, I'll go with Crimson Lady. I don't know who it is, and I'll click the spoiler box now. It is actually Duchess. Good switch of answer. Good for you. Oh man, someone should actually keep track of like what questions we get right. But that would be a lot to keep track of. So, thank you for that question, Edu. I appreciate the Racing Marble League trivia, and I think we should try to throw that in here and there as the season goes on, because they're doing a great job over there. And with their custom track, they don't have any of that weird paper on top of the track. It's all smooth to begin with, so you gotta really give them credit for that as well. They're gonna have much less stalling on the track because they don't have to put paper over the top, so don't knock that either. So Waf, your trivia, go ahead.
Sure. So this fact is from the ML Facts Instagram. And it is like so. Which how many teams and which teams are have competed in both seasons of Marbula 1 and have gotten a gold medal?
Okay, so let me break that down. So that's how many teams, number 1, have competed in both Marbula 1 seasons, and only those, out of those teams, which ones have gotten at least one gold medal?
Well, I meant that as like combined. So it's like how many teams have competed in both seasons and have gotten a gold medal.
Okay. So they need to have a gold medal to count. It's not just two
Right.
separate. Okay. So teams that compete in both, and you gotta go. Well, Savage Speeders is one. Crazy Cat's Eyes did not compete in season 1, I don't think so. Hazers, yeah. Who else got a gold this year?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Marbula 1. Just in more than one season, and get a gold medal in each season they competed in. But does that not?
Is that Marbula 1? Or is that
I
Marble
don't
League?
think. Would it have to be Marble?
Well, what is his Instagram is Marble Sports Facts, right? Or is it Marble League Facts?
Right. It's just like it was occurring during the Marble League season, or sorry, the Marbula 1 season. That I was like, because the fact is, or the matter is that like this answer was the answer doesn't make sense. Hold on a second. What? Now I'm just confused. Cause I can't tell you because it'll spoil the answer.
Yeah,
but,
don't tell me. Wait, so
now I'm just confused.
Is it just like too large that it couldn't be just Marbula 1?
It's that like one of the teams that is the answer have only competed in one season of Marbula 1.
Which team? Give me one of the teams. We'll talk about it.
The Cat's Eyes.
Well, maybe he just made a mistake then. Because
guess
Cat's Eyes
so.
have not golded in every Marble League season, so it can't be them for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it like because like the number is very small? I feel like this has to be referring to Marbula 1.
Marbula 1, but he probably made a mistake.
Maybe.
So I would say Speeders, Hazers, Ducks, and so 3. Speeders, Hazers,
According
Ducks.
to this post, it was Jungle Jumpers, Cat's Eyes, and Hazers. But like
Wait, what?
was Jumpers in season 1? I don't think so.
Did Jumpers even get a gold this?
Jumpers in this race or this season, yes, I believe.
Wait, but
so.
Hazers got a gold and they're in both seasons.
That's what I'm saying. Hazers is one of the answers.
Okay.
But were Jungle Jumpers in season 1? I don't remember that.
Yeah, they were.
They were? Okay.
So
So
they don't remember them
apparently,
getting gold. They're bad.
like,
I don't-
can people? But
I mean,
don't
I know
think
the guy. He's actually one of our editors, the guy who runs this. So maybe he needs to Ask him about this fact. I'll ask him about this fact after the show. Like, what he meant by that.
This is very strange. Like,
and we'll come back to you guys with that next week because I don't know what the hell that was.
I guess to try and make up for that, like, we have a trivia question from our live chat from Steve. Which team was the first to win both the qualifiers and the main tournament of the Marble League?
That is a very, very good question.
So it wouldn't be 2016 because there was no qualifiers for 2016 if I'm not mistaken.
God,
they just
wait,
went right into it.
That's impressive.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, was there not? I don't think there was qualifiers versus 2016. I don't think so.
No, there definitely wasn't. I don't think 2017 did. 2017 had them, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it did.
Who won 2017 or Rangers? Oh, that's a possibility. Midnight Whist. It wouldn't be 2018 Midnight Whist. It might be. It might be No, it might be Raspberry Racers. It's not Savage Speeders again. I go Raspberry Racers. That sounds right to me because they had a really good year. Raspberry Racers. It's definitely them. Or it could be
yeah, that's a good pick. I'll go with Raspberry Racers as well, actually.
All right, fair enough.
The answer is Savage Speeders. I don't know why we even seriously.
Wait,
it's always the Speeders.
How is it Savage Speeders?
Apparently, the Speeders have won the they won the 2020 qualifiers and the 2020 season.
They were in the 2020 qualifiers.
Yeah, cause remember that's right. Yeah, that's the 1 year that they didn't get in the top.
Yeah, they got 5th in 2019, so they were in the. Damn! How did I not think of that, bro?
Yeah, dude. Like S-Man's trivia question makes no sense because like the Savage Speeders did get a gold in one race in season 1 too, but they won in season 2 with Marbula 1. So I don't know why they are in each season that they. Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm so sorry. I think I understand it now. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, waff.
So the Jungle Jumpers, the Cat's Eyes, and the Hazers are the only teams to compete in more than one season and get a gold medal in each season they competed in.
Jungle Jumpers didn't get a gold this season.
Well, they're not talking about. I think this is just about Marble League.
Okay, fine then. That fact is wrong if that's about Marble League.
Well, I mean, Esman has actually been pretty good with his trivia. Like,
I don't know. I might have to ask him about that because that feels wrong. That feels incorrect. That feels just something's wrong there. Come on, something's wrong there. Anyways. Should we play the music and go back to the...
Yes.
Play the music, editor.
That was the trivia segment. Now let's head back to the show. The show! Oh!
All right.
Okay, so, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I just jumped on Twitter and someone's saying to those people commenting on Gels Marbles videos saying they're marbles, stop making more than they want to be. Let's have some fun. It makes the videos that much more compelling for us. As JMR's Twitter description says, creator of parallel universes with marbles. Absolutely. For anyone out there, well, I mean, if they're saying this, they're not listening to this podcast. But for people out there who do say that to do make fun of marble sports, because yeah, I've experienced that too. There are people in my life who think this is silly. And I boldly say to them, well, I don't care. I love it. But listen, I get it that it's silly at first. But this is the chance for, this is a new community. This is a chance for, people who don't love the main four sports, which I actually do like the main four sports. I like baseball and football a lot. I do. And I follow those teams and I listen to sports radio even more than your average person. But, for people who don't really like those sports, this is the chance for them to enjoy something that is not mainstream sports and really get behind a team and be a part of a community and a fan base and be in a community that, I've seen a lot of people in the JMR community really bond over marble sports and teams. And to say that this is silly because marbles are inanimate, I just think that's ridiculous, especially since the sportness of it, the real community is built around the people adding that pretend world to it. And because it's produced so professionally, it really does equally match the excitement and quality of real sports in the world. So please don't say things like that, because I think you're wrong. I do. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, this is awesome. I mean, this is like, how could you, even if you did find it silly, because I understand if you find it silly and you don't want to be in the marble sports, don't go comment in the videos and say that other people can't enjoy it either, because I mean, you can't knock the fact that this quality is not amazing. You can't knock the fact that Gel doesn't put amazing time and attention to detail into his work. And when you say things like that, you're saying that all of the time Gel spends on his work is not worth the time, and that's a very I don't know, it's a very rude thing to say. Other rude thing to say. For the live chat people, with the emails we did at the beginning of the show today, so be aware of that. So yeah, to that person on Twitter, I appreciate that person on Twitter shouting that out and saying, like, calling those people out, because actually I'm gonna retweet that. Haha, my Twitter account's active.
Let's continue the show, because we are on a schedule. So
we are getting short on time. So, the final and
restart.
Actually, okay, wait, we had a bunch of things we had to make sure the restart is main. But were there any other things that we missed out on at least mentioning? Okay, let me run through a couple of quick things.
Okay.
And then we'll end with just giving our opinions on the restart. First of all, rapidly, amazing work. Does that mean anything to me? Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot, because you need to be amazing more than once for me to be like, okay, you're a player that should not be removed from the team. I said Rapidly needed to be good for like 3 or 4 races for me to say that he shouldn't be removed for next year. The Savage Beaters are a high-level team. They are an elite team. Rapidly's performance, even if he does well, he may not... Okay, he has one more race. So even if he does well in the last race, I still think he didn't do enough to deserve a spot next year on the team. But I do appreciate the points for this week on the fantasy. But besides that, I mean, Rapidly's not good enough. They need to try someone else. The only thing I'd say is if he gets like first place next time he races, I think maybe he's on the table for a discussion. But if he doesn't get first place next week, I want to see a new racer next year. The other thing, Yellow Eye. Obviously, Yellow Eye did bad. Obviously, I'm very surprised. Obviously, if we didn't have all the weird controversy with Cerulean and Clutter and all that, the question on the table would be talking a lot about the Crazy Cat's Eyes and are they actually going to take this? Are they going to have the biggest choke in really sports history? I don't see that. I feel like, they only have to get like 6 points. They literally have to have a mediocre race in the next 2 races. And even if they don't have even if both of the races are bad, the Green Ducks still have to win the next 2 and plus extra points to actually overtake the Crazy Cat's Eyes. So the chances of that are still really low, so I think the Crazy Cat's Eyes will be your champion, but it is a shame to see them struggle so much. 2 very bad races the last 2 weeks, so that's a struggle. Though personally, I'm really expecting Yellow Eye to be the best overall racer on the year, and I'm really excited to see if they come back strong in the last couple of races. With that being said, we're going to go to WAF, then we're going to come back to me, then we're going to end the show. The question on the table for you, WAF, is react to the restart of the race. Good, bad, indifferent, should have been done differently, should have been done earlier, later. Go ahead. Let's finish it up with that.
Yeah, as I've already said, it should really have been started about a lap 11 or 10 when both marbles had actually got stuck, since that was the cause for the restart in the first place. Because those 2 laps do matter, because as we saw, Mimo got really screwed over by the restart first of all, but they made they went all the way back to last place at one point. But if you watch the race, Mimo fought all the way up and they got 6th place again at one point. It's those 2 more laps could have made a big difference, not just for Mimo but for any marble in that race, because they were all very close. So it's and it as a Momo fan, it really even just as a fan of the racing, what I really loved about the Momo was Momo had fastest lap at one point, and they were actually in really good contention of still being in the race for the number 1 spot on the podium, because they needed, even if they only got 2nd place by the end, they still would have statistically have been in the running for it. And that I love those insane crazy impossibilities, because I remember last episode 91, we talked about how I talked about how the statistics for each team to make it, and but I'm very much aware of the fact it's extremely unlikely. So when I saw Momo actually making the impossible possible, there, I was oh shoot, this is insane. This is gonna be amazing if this happens. Not just because I love Momo, because it's just it's an insane comeback to make, And so like that's just exciting to watch, and to see that kind of just taken away because of that restart. It really stung. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I think the reaction is well suited, and definitely there was a lot of sting from this race for a lot of fans of specific teams. But I think that as far as the restart goes, first of all, I am in favor of the restart.
Yes.
And the reason I'm in favor of the restart is because the reason that the problems happened, the reason that there were difficulty on the track in this particular race is not because marbles were competing, but because the design of the track prohibited the marbles from moving. Mm-hmm. We saw that with Clutter. I mean, it was a bent wire, really. I know it was just it was a very unlikely mistake, but it was a bent wire. All right, it was the badly designed over acute turn there on the left side that caused Bumble and Clutter to get stuck up there. It was not the work of the marbles themselves to lodge them up and get them stuck. If that was the case, then you could argue that a restart would never be okay. But because it was a track, a restart is necessary. Now, as far as when the restart should have happened, unfortunately, I see two sides to this. While I see WAF's side and I agree with WAF's side in a sense, I also see that the restart is a last resort.
No.
Okay,
I agree.
The restart.
I agree that it did happen. I do agree that it needed to happen. Like there was well, I guess red flags in normal racing is like when there's a massive obstruction on the track that could like hinder like people's safety and stuff. You know, but the marbles were kind of out of the way, so it's like. But again, it wasn't their fault. It was Bumble actually. It was kind of their fault for tailing Cerulean so bad. But then Clutter like just ran into the safety marble being like at the wrong time there, and they got stuck again. So it's like
right. Well, what I was I mean, I'm not saying that. Okay, because you agree there was restart was necessary. What I'm saying is as far as when the restart should have happened, like what lap it should have reverted to. Mm-hmm. Well, part of me agrees with what you said about that. I also see the point that, okay, a red flag is a last resort. A red flag is not where we want to go. It's where only we have to go. So the red flag is only something that can be presented after the yellow flag, after the safety marble is deployed a couple times to try as best they can to dislodge marbles. So because that's not like the first resort thing, plus a restart is not the plan, then the restart might make sense to only revert to the race where back to the lap where the red flag was flown, back to the lap where it was finally concluded that there was no safety marble going to be able to do any business on the marbles that were stuck. And for that reason, I would just say that, I mean, I'm up in the air, and I want to hear your guys' opinions too. This is a great time. Email in, mswpodcast@gmail.com. But I mean, to really give, because that's a tough decision to make. But I feel like there is something to be said that the restart, if implemented, should only go back to where the red flag was finally decided to be thrown by the officials, saying that we're throwing our hands up, the safety marble can do nothing. Though I do see the argument for the fact that if a restart is finally implemented, they should reconsider the fact that maybe you should go back when the problem first presented itself, because if the restart was eventually implemented, that meant that they decided it could not be fixed, which means that it wasn't going to be able to be fixed even when it first started, which means that maybe it should go back to there. So that's a confusing decision to make, though.
And I thought about this, but like the restart is almost pointless because the point of doing that was to get Clutter and Bumble racing again, but because they started it on lap 13, they were so incredibly lapped that they couldn't even there is no chance to get points for them. So why even restart it? If they're going to restart it, you should actually do it to where at least back when the incident started, so that at least Bumble would have a chance. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it because the marbles are just going to keep missing them.
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like it still could go either way. It still could go either way. And that's like, because it depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you are affected by it. But like I said, I am open to either interpretation. I think you make a good case. You really do. I see why you make a good case. It affected your teammate. Momo could actually finish much higher with the extra couple of laps. So it's like, okay, well, if they had the extra couple laps, why did they not go backwards? And it makes sense. But it's hard for me to make a. Usually, I do have that conclusion. Usually, I do have that strong opinion. But this one's hard. This one's hard for me to make a definite opinion on. So I'm gonna abstain from this opinion. Maybe I'll bring you one next week. Maybe I'll wait for some more opinions from the fans. But either way, it was a crazy race. I never want to see that many sharp turns again.
Yeah, I guess the last thing to mention. Agreed. Or literally, it's not like just dead on running into it, where because then like they're just gonna lose all their momentum and could get stuck again.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing we need to mention is the qualifiers, because like the timing on the release of some of those marbles was awful.
Oh my God, I wish we had more time, because that's a huge thing. I almost want to table that for next time and really actually get on that, because I had a huge problem. It was like 7 different times that marbles were touching. I mean, that's the problem. Why was that happening?
Yeah.
I mean, track design is part of that.
Like, well, the things like they came off the conveyor belt like sooner. Like the gap between them was smaller, and I guess they decided to like not stop the conveyor belt like soon enough to and they thought, oh, just go ahead and send them out there, it'll be fine. But like it wasn't. Like that was not very good.
Yeah, they
that was very bad.
I did not enjoy that at all. But
is that another instance? Maybe there's another instance of them rushing again, like they were off in their timing. Honestly, I'm not really sure. I don't know why this happened here and not on any other track. I mean, they didn't seem to have issue with putting all the marbles on the conveyor belt before, so I think the spacing's the same as it was before. But for whatever reason, the release time, at least for some of them, was a lot sooner, and so like it was bad.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been a mistake. That could have been just another thing that happened. It would seem like this was the race full of mistakes. I mean, like Greg said, Misty Mountain's mysterious. So I mean, it could have been just part of that. Okay, in the live chat, big impact from the safety marble on Mimo at the red flag. Yes, we actually just finished up talking about that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Remember, Marble Rally Season 5 Race 7 is coming up. Thank you, live chat. Live chat is really helpful with the information. Yep. That is happening. Do I need to tell you that? I guess. There you go. I told you now. JMR's YouTube also has that news. Do I have anything to say about it? Absolutely not. I just gotta wait to see. When it comes out, I'll have a lot more to say. But yeah, really, there's a lot of opinions on this. The Reddit is flying with stuff on this. Honestly, the qualifiers, I was annoyed with that, and I mean, I might even bring it up again next time in like the intro just to give it a couple more words. But there was just a lot of weird happenings at Misty Mountain, definitely. But, overall, I think it was handled as best as possible. I think the JMR officials did really the best that they could, even with the difficult situation, and we got to give them credit for putting their best effort out there. So with that being said, guys, that's going to end the podcast for today. Thank you who listen, people who listen. Thank you. People who email. Thank you. People who do all that. Thank you. Sub to the YouTube. We want to get to 500 subs because we hit 400, and now we're thirsty for more. So Waf, why don't you take us out for today?
All right.
See you guys next week.
Roll on, Marble Sports fans.